Have you ever felt like no matter how good you are to someone, they still end up pulling away or leaving? Even in a two-way relationship, being kind, loving, or even selfless doesn't always guarantee the outcome you want. In fact, if your approach goes against basic human nature, you might unintentionally push people away. Let's face a hard truth. No matter how close your relationship is, no matter how deep the connection feels, there will always be someone out there who seems newer, more exciting, or more intriguing to your partner. It's like food at home. No matter how delicious your home cooking is, there's always curiosity about the taste of something different. So if you haven't built a unique place in someone's heart after the honeymoon phase fades, they'll naturally crave something fresh. But here's the mistake: we think that to stay attractive, we need to constantly surprise or entertain them. That's not the real secret. The real power lies in emotional stability. That quiet, unshakable energy you bring to the relationship. Many people confuse attraction with novelty, but the kind of attraction that builds a lasting bond isn't about keeping someone entertained. It's about being someone who radiates self-worth and inner peace. So, when the other person starts acting distant or cold, the worst thing you can do is panic and show your instability. That only reinforces their doubt. So how do you show emotional stability, especially when things feel uncertain? First, raise your own value. Not to impress someone else, but because you're investing in your own growth. That might mean advancing in your career, improving your health, or building confidence. These are things that remind both you and the other person of your strength and independence. Second, express your value in how you interact. Some people have high status or material success, yet they're still abandoned in love. That's because true value isn't always about what you have. It's about how you carry yourself and how you make others feel your presence without clinging or proving anything. You also need to stop over-sacrificing. It's natural to care about someone. But when you give too much of yourself hoping they'll love you more, you actually lose value in their eyes. They begin to see you as someone who needs validation instead of someone who stands strong on her own. Instead of constantly checking on them, why not share your life? Instead of asking them what they want, start speaking up about your own desires. That's how you balance love for them with love for yourself. You're not being selfish, you're being whole. There's a big difference between giving from a place of love and giving because you're afraid of losing someone. If you're pouring yourself into them hoping for love in return, it often backfires. You may feel like your sacrifices should earn you their loyalty, but it can feel heavy and burdensome to them. So remind yourself that your value doesn't come from someone else choosing you. It comes from how you show up for yourself. If you want someone to see your worth, you have to see it first. Make yourself emotionally irreplaceable, not just physically present. People are drawn to those who can stand on their own, not those who need to be rescued. The more you rely on others to fix your emptiness, the more distant you'll feel. A person who doesn't fear loneliness is far more attractive than someone who clings. And here's another important piece. Watch their behavior. Words can lie, but actions reveal everything. If someone constantly tells you how afraid they are of losing you, they might not actually love you. They might just fear abandonment because they don't know how to love themselves. This fear often comes from childhood wounds, being rejected, ignored, or made to feel invisible. That kind of emotional history leads someone to seek validation from romantic relationships. So when they chase you intensely or sacrifice everything to win you over, it's often more about proving their own worth than loving you deeply. You may feel overwhelmed by how intense it is. The drama might feel passionate at first, but over time, it becomes exhausting. That's because their love is mixed with anxiety and control. You're not being loved for who you are, but for how you temporarily fill their emotional void. These people often communicate in hurtful ways too. If you ask a simple question, they might react with defensiveness or sarcasm. That's not about you. It's a reflection of their own insecurity. They feel attacked even when you're just trying to connect. And some people will shut you down whenever you express a thought or opinion. That kind of denial is a way to protect themselves from feelings they were never allowed to have. Growing up, they may have felt invisible. Now they demand attention or control through criticism. Being in a relationship like that often turns you into a caretaker. You're always trying to soothe their wounds, even though no one ever asked who's taking care of you. That's not love. That's emotional survival. So how do you know if someone is emotionally healthy and capable of love? Look at how they handle your emotions. Do they listen without blaming you? Do they respect your needs, even if they're different from theirs? Can they let you go without falling apart? True love comes from a person who is emotionally complete. Someone who doesn't rely on you to give them an identity. Someone who sees your uniqueness, respects your independence, and never tries to reshape you into their fantasy. If they love themselves fully, they have the ability to truly love you. And if they don't, you'll end up being their emotional band-aid instead of their partner. So always come back to this truth: if you want to be truly loved, you need to first love yourself in the way you want others to love you. Everything starts from there. If this spoke to you, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And tell me in the comments, have you ever loved someone who couldn't handle your love?